Kia ora, I'm Tegan from the Boyle, and today we're going to do a little belay brief. So first off, we make sure that everyone is done up correctly. So we go to the climber first. So we make sure that he's got 3 C's on his harness, a helmet, and he's going to squeeze his carabiners, making sure they're done up. We go up, we look that there's no twist in the rope up the top. We come down to the belayer, which is me. We make sure that I've got my 3 C's, my helmet is done up, and I squeeze. Then we go along to our backup belayer to make sure that the prusik is threaded right. They've got their 3 C's and their squeeze and a helmet as well. Okay, so first off we're going to practice belaying on the ground. We're going to do that by having the climber slowly walk backwards to tension the rope as I'm belaying. I'm going to show you what belaying looks like first though. The role of the belayer is to keep the climber safe by keeping the rope tight. So that's what you do when you're belaying. Okay, to break down the belay steps, we're going to first look at them individually. So pull, you're going to grab at head height, you're going to pull down as you're pulling the other rope up. Lock, you're going to pull down towards your knee, not out towards your hip, but down towards your knee. Grab, you're going to wrap your hand underneath your belay device and grab with strong hands, thumbs up. Slide, you're going to loosen your grip and slide it towards your other hand and re-grip on. So to look at that again, head height, pull, lock down towards your knee, grabbing, loosen your grip to slide.
So as the backup belayer, my job is to pull the rope through this prusik here. So as Tegan is belaying, I'm going to bump the prusik toward her. What we want to do is keep the rope nice and happy. So this is a nice big smile. If she was to keep going and the rope was to hit the ground, that's a bit too big of a smile, so that's not as ideal. So I would just make that tighter. If it's too tight, she struggles to belay. So it's really important that when I'm bumping the prusik, I'm not actually putting my hand on it like this. If I do this, then the prusik can't actually work and lock off like it is supposed to. So make sure that your hand is on either side of it and you are just bumping it up.
Now we're going to practice lowering. To lower, I have 2 hands below my belay device and I'm just letting the rope go through slowly. As I do this, Charlotte is going to take a knee and she's going to have her hands on the top side of the prusik and just bump it down slowly. So this hand grabs and slides, then this hand grabs and slides. So what we're doing is we're always having one hand on the rope at all times.
So before we leave the ground, we have to make sure that we're on the same page and our calls are correct. So before we leave, we're going to do our double checks and we're going to make sure we have the same calls for when we get up to the top before we start lowering. So when I'm ready, I'm going to yell out, "Have you got me, Tegan?"
So I'm going to take in all the slack and say to Reese, "I've got him."
Once she's yelled to me that she's got me, I can now let go of the wall or whatever I'm holding on to and put all my weight onto the rope. After I've got my weight on the rope, I'm going to yell out, "Ready to be lowered, Tegan?"
And I'm going to yell out, "Okay, lowering."
She's going to start lowering and everything's going to happen from there. Before we start climbing, I need to check that my belay team is ready. Hey! Now I'm good to go.
Pull, lock, grab, slide. Pull, lock, grab, slide. If the climber is climbing too fast, as a belayer, you can ask them to slow down, because otherwise it creates slack in the system and that can be unsafe. Alright, now it's time to lower. To do this, we're going to make sure that Reese up there is actually safe and he's ready to be lowered, and that I'm also ready. So we do that by having communication. So Reese is going to ask,
"Have you got me, Tegan?"
my job is to take in all the slack. "I've got you, Reese!"
And before he does anything else, I need to take a knee and move my hands to the other side of that prusik.
Ready to be lowered!
Okay, lowering!
As Tegan's lowering, I'm slowly feeding her rope. If I feed her too much rope, then there's too much slack here. If I don't feed her enough, she can't lower Reese.
And if I'm feeling like the climber is a bit heavy, I can just sit back into my harness a little bit and squat down and continue to lower a bit easier.
Touchdown! These are some common mistakes people make whilst learning to belay. It's quite common for people when they get their pull, lock, and at their grab stage, is they grab and they don't use a good solid grip, so they might be holding like this, or any way that's not like this. So this is very important, because if the person falls whilst they're doing this, they'll be sliding this hand up and that's all that they're holding them with, and that is not going to hold them if they fall. So you want to always make sure you do your pull, lock, grab, nice solid grip, so when you slide, you're not going to let them go.
G'day! Another common mistake that we see is when you are tightening the rope. So in your first step, you want to be pulling it so it's nice and tight like this. What people tend to do is they pull down to the side, creating all this slack in the system.
Another common problem is that people have their hand positioning wrong. So they often have their hand going like this in the up phase, which creates a really cack-handedness, which makes it hard to grab. So instead, you grab with your thumbs up at all times. Another bad hand position is putting your hand between you and the rope. When it gets pulled, it digs into your forearm, which causes a lot of pain, and so you're going to release this hand, and then it's going to become unsafe because you don't have two hands below here while they're falling.
Thank you for watching our video of belaying at the Boyle. Remember guys, safer belaying together.